Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a mid-month for the month of December Tarot Oracle reading. And Pisces, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Pisces, we still all have a little bit of Pisces in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is Pisces in? That's where this energy will show up for you. And I have already washed the cards and shuffled them, so just giving them a quick cut here, and we will see what the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck is for the reading. And we have the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is talking about an inner battle. It can be an inner battle, or it could be a battle with other people. There's 5 swords here. There's 2 battles here. Now these people, some people feel that this is different versions of this person, and that represents the battle within. And or it could be that you've had to battle with other people to get to where you're going, or just to stay safe or whatever. So we'll see what that's about. That's the underlying energy. So Pisces, it might be a bit of a tidal wave here. And then for the internal dynamics, the internal forces, we have the Knight of Cups. So this may be, the Knight of Cups is bringing in a message, a communication. And in the old days, he'd come in by horse, but he works for the king or for royalty, and he's bringing in a cup of love. So now this love could be something that you love, or it could actually be a romantic love. Quite often with the Knight of Cups, it's like a proposal, or maybe asking someone out for a first date. The Knight of Cups is considered like that romantic knight in shining armor. He's looking really good on his horse there. And so this could be something that maybe you had to battle a few people over love, or got in a fight over love, or it could be about loving yourself. It could be like an inner battle with yourself, loving yourself, or it could be battling for something that you do love, like a business or whatever that might be. We'll see. We'll look into this a bit more. So, okay, so there's been some sneaky energy. Now we have the Seven of Swords. And swords actually represent thoughts. And so they're double-edged swords. So it could be positive or negative thoughts, that kind of energy. This card is my card, like it's a walking contradiction. This is what I call the shift disturber, because this is going to, I feel like whatever this battle was over, it might have been with love. There's 2 swords here, and he's holding 2 in his hand here. So maybe he's the Knight of Cups, and he battled for someone he loves or something he loves, or he battled the Knight of Cups for something, the same scenario. But this energy talks like it's a walking contradiction, because sometimes this card says, oh, you're taking things too seriously. And sometimes it represents a thief. There's 2 swords planted here. And that's why I feel like it might be about love and about, a battle over that, maybe between these 2 men. Saying that again, in tarot, the figures are archetypes. So this could be 2 women in their masculine energy as well. But this represents either this individual is sneaking away because he stole these swords from the village, but he's leaving 2 planted. So that's the past. So he's looking back at the past, and he's sneaking away with these. He might have done it because he doesn't want to fight, and he is just sneaking away in the night. This card sometimes says to make sure if you're signing any documents or anything like that, like if you're going to sign a contract, or if you're meeting a new person, make sure you dot your I's, cross your T's. Make sure you get to know someone before you get too involved with them. Get to know them on a basis, check into that energy. And then Oh, this could also like represent a one night stand. That's what I just got too. So we'll see here. This is a transition. So whatever happened here regarding this energy caused a battle between two people, I feel, and it ended something and began something like at the same time. So someone got trampled here. So that could be, I mean, this guy's still standing. So it could be like it's, and like maybe there was more than these two involved because there's these two in the background. And I thought it was kind of representing these two. But it could be those are two other people, right? And so who knows what happened here. But in any case, it's created a transition and there's going to be a change. The sun in the background represents rebirth, and this energy is like something got run over, basically. And then we have juggling. Okay, so this can represent multitasking. And again, though, we have the two pentacles, the two swords planted here. And so I feel like it was something juggling. It could have been juggling morals. This card says juggle your options, but don't juggle your morals. And it feels like it could have been about money or pentacles, about health, wealth, happiness, juggling two people, you know, over love, something like that. It was sneaky, whatever it was. And there's the wounded warrior. So that I feel like that's representing this person in some ways. So the wounded warrior represents someone who's been in a battle. And this is from actions they have taken or other people have taken. You know, he's really been through it, but now he's hanging on to this one wand, and wands represent action. And so this is the action that he wants to take. It's the one he's holding closest to his heart. And these other ones are planted behind him. So whatever happened here has caused this person want to maybe sneak out of town, or to cause someone to sneak out of town, kind of energy. Okay, being left out in the cold. So this is saying basically that it's not being part of the community or whatever. So something happened here that was sneaky, and it caused not just like it caused these two people, like it maybe caused, if there was two people that were in love with each other, then it caused them to not be with each other anymore. I feel like they've separated. And maybe that's that, because this energy sometimes means two people that are collaborating, but I feel like these are two people that they have to half their money, and then they're on a journey on their, like they both have could represent these two people here. Whoever this is, they've been injured from it, and it might not be this person, but something happened. There was a battle that happened, and it was over some sneaky energy. And there's a cup of love here. So, and someone was juggling, and I feel like they were juggling morals. And then we have the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is coming in with a communication. So that we have two communications, one about love, and this energy can sometimes be about, okay, moving on to a different way of being. The energy, like between this energy and this energy, is very different, because this card always reminds me of golfing. And this is someone that, you know, was raised in a family that has social standing. And this energy could have been someone that these two could be, you know, this could be the same person, or about this person here who is standing on their morals. Like this is about someone who is battling for something that they love. And then this energy is the sneaky energy and the juggling, leaving. I really am feeling like this is this energy here. And then maybe this person snuck out of town, and this is like getting out of there and left like a mess, you know what I mean? Everybody's crippled from it, and you know, there's half the pentacles, like 5 of pentacles is like half pentacles. The energy of this is like a message coming in, and sometimes this could be a mess, like it's a message of thoughts coming in, of paperwork, contracts, leases, that kind of energy. So it could, you know, this still doesn't have me like thinking 100% that this is about romance, so much as it might have been about some sort of a business, or, you know, something like that. A disagreement between families, something like that. Like, it's not clear yet. But in any case, I don't know if when this feels like it might have been a battle over love, and then all this happened because of it. And now this is kind of the information coming in. Okay, now this has happened because of this. I feel like that's kind of what the energy's saying, because the sky is the same color here, and here it's just like it's like all scrambled, and we have a death and like a transition, and we have juggling of money and morals. We have like wavy, like that's emotions in the background. You know, something being amplified because the boat is getting bigger as we go. Like it's caused a tidal wave. And didn't I say that? It might be a tidal wave. That's what I said, yes, at the beginning of this reading, Pisces. So let's look into this a little bit more. So just, this position is the house of like self-image, how you identify yourself. So this could say that you feel like you've been stolen from, or you could be the person that was doing the thieving, or this could just be you sneaking away the swords so that these people don't fight. You know, it could have been that kind of energy. Maybe someone that cared and didn't want them to get hurt or whatever. This is about transition. So this is how about your abundance and self-worth. And that kind of explains this being left out in the cold. And only like the half the pentacles, it's just saying half the pentacles you used to have. And then we have juggling of, it looks like money, health, wealth, happiness, abundance, and possibly morals. And then that being like after this battle, like it being you know, we have the wounded warrior. He's still standing, but it's been quite the event, right? And then we have this energy, and this is about home and your family and your emotional foundation. It's like something was, it feels like this was the person that was battling for what he had before, and he's the one that's lost it. And now this is, creativity, romance, your children. So, you know, it could be that someone lost a home here. And this actually doesn't necessarily even have to be between people, because sometimes this card means like a battle of wills. So this could have been like some sort of trying to stay out of bankruptcy or something, and having lost the house or whatever. And then the information came, because this is about your health and your daily routines and habits, etc. So it's hard to say exactly. Like, I feel like this might not be about love, but it might be about what you love to have, like your house or whatever, that you lost money because of a battle. This card can sometimes say like a battle with an addiction or something like that. So we'll look into it a little bit more. The underlying energy for the external forces is to having to have courage. This could also be an illness, because these people, you know, are wounded. So this could be a battle of, you know, life itself, like, and being sick, that kind of energy. And then we have strength. So it's required a lot of courage to face whatever this is. And she's reaching into the lion because she's proving to herself that she can face her fears. And I don't know, it just gives me sort of that energy of someone who might have been battling to live and was very ill, and it's been really hard, and maybe it cost a lot of money because or they weren't able to work, that kind of energy. That's the kind of energy I'm getting more of. Let's see here. So this could be juggling, like, you know, your health and your wealth, you know, and this could be like the happiness in your life being stolen away. Not quite sure here. I don't feel there was like an actual death, but there was like a death of a lifestyle or of hope or whatever. Let's see how this turns out, because if that is the case, it's like this health battle has been an ongoing thing, and you know, he's standing and he's alive, but now moving forward from there and having the courage to keep going. And then there's 3 cups here. And this is celebration. And normally, sometimes I don't really like this card, but in a way, I feel like maybe this is someone that was given a really bad diagnosis and now they've been given a good prognosis. You know what I'm saying? And they have faced a very difficult health situation. And now it's something to celebrate. It's a celebration, but it's bittersweet because it's kind of like, well, you can see the energy. It's been a real struggle. So if that's the situation, then it kind of explains why this energy, and it's almost like, I feel like it's a little bit disjointed, like you don't know whether to celebrate or not, because there's been 3 battles already with this, is what's coming up. Yeah, I'm starting to feel it was more something to do with health. Let's see what else is going on here. Justice is coming in. So justice is, you know, well, that speaks for itself, but, you know, that's telling me again that this could have been over money also. Like someone lost a lot in this battle, and I feel like it was an inner battle. So it could have been about addiction, and now they're over it, or they've had the treatment or whatever, but it was really expensive and they have to start over. It could be about a love relationship and between 2 people or whatever, or there was, because this card speaks of a third party, and the justice is here in either way. So justice is when we are able to, you know, finally come to some sort of transition in whatever this is, and become neutral to the 2 extremes of it. So sitting in the middle here, and this card quite often, it represents also karma. And, you know, so if there was some sneaky underlying energy, but I feel like this might have been like a sneaky, dis-ease. Like it could have been like something like that. Let's keep going here. The King of Wands. So the King of Wands is visionary, and this is saying going to keep going. This is someone who is strong and is moving forward. And this is the external forces coming in, being strong to those external forces. These are the what ifs, and those are like what happened here. And so it's just coming up. Whatever happened here, the life has changed significantly. But there's justice, like whatever this battle has been through, it's required a lot of strength, but there is something to celebrate, but it's kind of like in a bittersweet way. And then I can't really, like, there's a lot of scenarios that this could be, because I'm getting it could be like just, you know, a relationship and there was 3 people involved, but it also feels to me like it was an inner battle for others. And then, the Pisces energy is very emotional, but the Pisces energy is also authority. And so I feel like the King of Cups is now sitting on the throne, and he has this cup. And remember, this could be a she in the masculine energy. And he's like sitting there and he looks calm. He's got really good control of his emotions. And maybe now it's kind of like, oh, like now, like we have 2 kings here. And this energy feels like maybe coming back, you know, like this is a visionary, okay, I'm going to take action and I'm going to move forward in my life. And now this is someone, he looks really calm. He doesn't care about the emotional waters around him. And, you know, that energy, he's very steady and stable. So that's good, like if it's an energy light. And then the sun comes out. I love that. So whatever this was, and I do feel like it could be several things, like as I said, but for someone here, I feel like it was a health battle. And this is a card of healing and happiness. And this is like calm now. This is looking forward to the future. Justice can just be like healing, you know, like now, whatever this is. And this celebration, although it's bittersweet because it was such a challenging thing, if you're now regaining your health and you're able to move forward and love yourself and love your life again, and this is saying happiness, like you deserve happy, you were born to be happy. So that kind of energy is like, that's God stepping in. So this might have been a miraculous recovery from a diagnosis that was like really challenging. And sometimes like the reason I'm feeling that that's kind of the energy that I'm picking up the most is because sometimes like when people are diagnosed with something and they, you know, it's a very bad prognosis or diagnosis, and prognosis, what happens is they have a love of life so much that gets them through, and that gives them the strength, or the loved ones around them give them the strength. I feel like for someone, that's what this is about. And, you know, money, material things they come and go anyway, but to be able to get through this would be a huge accomplishment. And then this is, like, I feel like this is an energy of being in a mental prison. This is like someone that fought a battle with maybe something that, you know, they couldn't even see. And so that could have been an illness. And now they're stepping out, like they're on dry land now, and they were like in this water. And I feel like this water might have been like this, and now it's like this, you know, because he's got his right foot forward and then she's got her right foot forward. And I feel like this is kind of like, okay, the battle with that is over. And, you know, there's some sneaky diseases out there, right? And I feel like that's kind of more the energy. That's feeling a little bit better there. Yeah. Like wounded, but still standing. And that's, and still has it. And I feel like the reason they're still standing is because they have such a love for life. And maybe they have children and whatever, and, you know, and the mental, like this mental prison is kind of like this energy, you know, it snuck up on them, you know, like feeling really healthy and then, you know, go for a checkup or whatever and find out that you're not, kind of energy. That's kind of what I am picking up from this reading more than, it could be the other. Take it how it resonates with you. If you have someone that's in this position, or you're in this position, congratulations. I feel like you've overcome something that was very challenging health-wise, and maybe demoralizing, that kind of energy, and that you're bouncing back against all odds. It's almost like a miracle, right? And that now things you're going to be happy. It's going to be happier. You know, if you're enjoying this reading, please do like and comment. If this resonates with you, consider subscribing. I'm really, I mean, it's not the most fun reading, but I feel like it's really uplifting. And I feel like we can learn a lot from that. I just want to, I'm using my Oracle, Tales from the Vector, and I have a website, talesfromthevector.com, where the paintings, there's 64 of them that I started in 2007, and I completed them in 2020, and now I'm getting ready to take the deck out. I'm just shuffling these cards. I want to get into this energy and see, okay, because this is a general reading. It can be several different things, and that's why I'm just feeling a little bit like the one is coming out. Okay, so in the description box below for the video, I will have the numbers of the paintings, how they're listed on my website at talesfromthevector.com. That's TAILS. So you can look at the pictures, and if you're interested in seeing what they look like, eventually I'll get the deck out in the next. I'm thinking it might be like in a few months, because I want to make sure I write it up and I have the correct information that I want to have for it. So I feel like this here is the 2 and the 2, like the number 2 here, like the battle, having won those. And the high priestess uses her intuition, and she's very close to God. And I feel like, and she's all about joy. This is actually like the birth of Christ. And that is on the, like the painting is about, it's a poinsettia with a dragonfly. And it's kind of that energy of, you know, all the hope and the miracles of Christmas and joy to the world. And I feel like that's the high priestess is saying, you know, that it was like a miracle, like this person was given a really, it's a miracle they're still standing, and congratulations on that. And then we have Pisces here. So this is, you know, sink or swim. Yeah. Loving. I feel like that might be the King of Cups. This kind of reminds me, my dad was a Pisces, and he's been coming into the readings quite a bit. And he had Guillain-Barré syndrome, and he was like 62 at the time. I think, or 60, I can't remember his exact age now. And he ended up in a 36-hour period. He was paralyzed from head to toe, and he had to learn to walk, to talk, to eat, to breathe. Like he went through so much. I think, you know, he was 68 when it happened, and he was 72 when he passed. He was a Pisces, but he always used to joke because he was quite heavy, and he had such a good attitude most of the time. He went through, oh my God, he went through so much. And him and I became very close at that time because he became almost like a child to me. You know, we almost reversed roles. Because you can't even imagine, but like he got up and he walked again, and, you know, he got off the ventilator and all of that. It took like almost he was in the hospital and in rehabilitation for a good 2 years, like, and he had a business, like he was still working when it happened, and, you know, just bang, just like that. This is that energy kind of coming in, and like, but he used to joke, like he used to say, like, you know, he said, he was heavy all his life, and he was always dieting and trying to lose weight. And he said, you know, the only diet that worked for me was that Guillain-Barré diet. And that was like 100 pounds he lost. And he said it, but I wouldn't recommend it for anyone, that diet. So it's just like having a good attitude and, you know, accepting the position you're in. Very challenging. Like, this was a man that, I mean, he was an entrepreneur. He was a big man, 6'3", I think. And, you know, he was just full of life, and then all of this happened. But the good part was that him and I really became very, very close, you know. I made sure, you know, to be there for him every day that I could, as much as I could. And so, like, yeah, this is kind of talking about, I feel like it's kind of talking about that. And he kind of popped in the other day in one of my readings. So he's, you know, he had such a good attitude, and that's kind of like the energy. So if you're in that position, like, it looked like he was, I mean, the doctors pretty much wrote him off. Like, I mean, he was 68, he was 100 pounds overweight, he was, you know, he had congestive heart failure, and in the end, but like that, he had that before, but he you know, he did get back up, and he was walking, and he was able to come home for a while and all of that. But anyway, that was the energy. And we have justice here and justice here. And then this is on like the transition that when he did pass, you know, that was 4 years after he collapsed. So in some ways, like, there was some very, like, I appreciate, because my dad was born at a time when, you know, men didn't show that much emotion, you know, and him and I became so close. And I just loved his sense of humor. He used to make me laugh and laugh. He was just, you know, And so this is about authentic desires, giving yourself permission to live your authentic desires. And that's kind of like what it taught me. Like, life is going along and then all of a sudden, bang, just like that, your life can change. And to really appreciate, that what you have when you have it, and enjoy it as much as you enjoy life as much as you can, no matter what life, that's what my dad taught me, no matter what life hands you, to enjoy life as much as you can. That's what he did. And then the Leo energy, this is about leading the way. This is about the sun. And I really, like, my dad was raised with a Roman Catholic, so he had a lot of religious background, and he relied a lot on God. I know that. And yeah, he felt so degraded, like he didn't feel like a man anymore in many ways. Like he just, he like, to be like in a 36-hour period just totally paralyzed. He could only blink his one eye, yes or no. And he was, like, it was such a big battle to come back from. And so I feel like that's his energy coming in, saying, life is worth living. Like, if you're in that position where you're ill, like, there's always hope. And then we have abuse of power on this energy here. So this kind of energy, there was a lot that happened in that time frame that I'm not going to get into, but there was just a lot, holy smokes, there was so much happening because he went bankrupt and all of that because he couldn't work anymore, and he couldn't run his business. He actually managed to keep his business going for like blinking his eye for a while there. But when that's the energy, like when the business, that was his baby, and when that was gone, then, it was really challenging for him. And then we have the Libra energy coming in. So this is about being mature and anticipation of how your life is going to go, and having expectations of how it's going to go. And then it doesn't turn out quite that way, but it's sitting on the bravery. And I feel like my dad's just coming in. If any of you are feeling like kind of like, you're going through a hard time, it will change. Like he's saying, and I mean, he did. He was funny. Like he had a really good sense of humor. And so the perception about life. So the grass is greener on the other side because it's fake. But sometimes, you don't appreciate your life, the life you have, until it changes, That's the kind of energy, until it goes through a transition. And this is expectations create limitations. So that's on both here. Like no one would expect that to happen. That's not in your plan, And yeah, and on because my dad was like a visionary person, like he was an entrepreneur, and he really he looked at the bright side of life most of the time. But when he went through that, he felt like a child to me, like he wasn't able to be that same person that he had been. And like I don't know, I feel like this energy is coming in for a reason, because maybe someone is going through something really challenging right now and you're listening to this, and just know that, there's always hope, and, there's always the ability to enjoy the life that you have even if it's in smaller ways. And yeah, it was a lot of destruction, but that's just life sometimes. And then the harmony or insight. So this is about using your third eye chakra, like having the insight to be able to move forward. And I feel like the energy here is just like sometimes these things happen in life, and my dad was able to turn to God, and that is what sustained him. And he was a child of God. Like, so everything he went through, like he prayed, that's how he was. And this energy is about elevating. Yeah. So this is kind of a sad reading, and I apologize. Like but my dad did come in here. He went fishing when he passed. He went fishing. Like he says, "I'm gone fishing." That kind of energy. Like like on the other side, it's different, and it's all love, is what it is saying. And I just felt like he wanted to come in and just say, like, if anyone's having, a challenging time right now, it's before Christmas, and sometimes, like, not everybody's having like a real happy situation, that there's always hope, and, to enjoy the life that you have as much as you can. That's the message I'm getting. I hope you enjoyed that part of it, and please do like and comment and consider subscribing if you resonate with the energy. And I want to thank you, Dad, for stepping in here. I love you. Okay, everybody, bye for now. Yep, it's okay. Is that why you wanted to be?